This is music, and this is a victim in pain. Welcome to another first impressions video. In these videos, I share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. As usual, I have a good stack of CDs to talk about, and I'm also going to sneak in a haul because yesterday we decided to go downtown for lunch to grab a burger at a place downtown. We were shocked and disappointed to learn that they had rebranded as a pizza and pasta place. But we decided to give them a chance and try their pizza and pasta, and we had a good meal, so that was great. Then we decided to drop by a record store not too far away called Export, and they have a whole bunch of stores around town, so that's cool. I actually found this one in their secondhand CD section, Victim in Pain by Agnostic Front. Who is this Victim in Pain? Nobody knows. It's the best kept secret of the hardcore scene. So, Agnostic Front, they are New York hardcore legends. And definitely, I wanted to pick this one up when I saw it. But as you can see on the price tag here, it says 75 Danish kroner for one. But if you buy three, it's 195. So you save 30 Danish kroner. And 75 kroner is not cheap when it comes to a secondhand CD, but it's far from expensive. So it's somewhere in the middle. And it all has to do with the condition. This one is VG plus, and the rarity and all this stuff. And this is one you don't see in the wild that often. So I think 75 Danish kroner is fair. But hey, if I can save 30 Danish kroner, I'm down for that. So my quest was to find two more CDs that were part of the same discount offer here. And lo and behold, I found one, Propane, Contents Under Pressure. Uh, different, sticker here, but it's part of the same discount offer. So that's cool. Propane, they are actually another hardcore band. Their style is a little bit more groovy and in some ways also a little bit more melodic. So that's very cool. I still had to find one more. And the thing about Propane, they're consistent. They never let you down. So I found this one too. Part of the same offer. With voila, three uh, quality hardcore releases and 30 Danish kroner saved. That's pretty cool. Now let's turn to the first impressions part. Up first, Saxon Carpe Diem. Not their most recent one, but the one before their most recent release. I'm kind of behind when it comes to recent Saxon stuff. Um, so I decided to pick this one up, and now I had a chance to listen to it. A lot of people say it's decent. I would say I think it's very good. Decent is, in my opinion, doing it a disservice. It's quality, traditional heavy metal with just quality riff upon quality riff. Very good songs. Biff, the vocalist, sounds great on here. The production is, of course, more modern sounding, but it fits the music very well. So I think this is not just decent. I think this is very good. In particular, the title track is awesome. It's almost kind of epic. So I really like this one. The most recent one is actually this one here, Hellfire and Damnation. And it's the same style, the same type of production. So heavy metal with some hard rock thrown in for good measure. Great riffs from beginning to end. Biff sounds fantastic. I will say I do think this one is just a little bit better than Carpe Diem. There's some more songs that have some more oomph to them, and it sounds a little bit more epic across the board as well. So this is a great album too. I'm glad I have this one. I still have a lot of more recent Saxon I need to catch up on, but now at least I have Had a chance to check these out. This one and Carpe Diem. Now some black metal, Vehementer Nox, French, although that's a Latin title, but a French black metal band. We're dealing with quite blasty in places, but also quite melodic, symphonic black metal. So if you like Dimmu Borgir, but you think they've strayed a little bit too far away from their black metal roots, maybe this is your cup of tea because there's a lot of black metal blastiness all over the place here, but you do have your epic symphonic sounding parts, and there are lots of those too, and quite melodic in places as well. So very interesting, um, symphonic, melodic black metal by Vehementer Nox. So there you go. Now some thrash metal, Warfare BC, and this one is called Reflections. Now this one is interesting because you have the same uh, two kind of demos. I think maybe demos or EPs. I think they're demos. You have the same two demos twice. You have so one is called Victims, and it's originally from 91. So you have the original 91 version, and then you have a 2023 mix. And the same thing with Lethal Injection demo. It's just from 1990. And then you have the 2023 mix. So we're dealing with really fast thrash metal, very Slayer inspired, but I also hear maybe some Ignorance era Sacred Reich on here as well. Interesting, interesting choice of vocals. There are kind of like two different styles on here. One kind of shouty, kind of typical thrash metal shouting style, and then a more kind of quasi, almost guttural death thrashy style of vocals as well. Like I said, really aggressive, really fast songs. If you like your Slayer, if you like your early Sacred Reich, if you like, I would say even if you like your early violence, that sort of style, this should be right up your alley. I do like the 2023 mixes. They do kind of maybe objectively sound better, but I actually kind of prefer the original demo versions here, maybe just because nostalgia and all that stuff. But this is great. This is worth picking up if you like your faster thrash metal. Really, really good stuff. Really enjoyed that one. Now we have this one here, Witch Hunter. This one is called Metal Dream, and yeah, so this is they're described as power metal and speed metal. And you definitely have power and speed metal elements. You have some mildly thrashy elements on here too. But what struck me was that this one sounds a lot like it's inspired by 70s hard rock. Like a lot of Thin Lizzy style stuff and a lot of prog rock on here too, which I actually really appreciate. You have some Space Ritual, for example, that's just like a mix of 70s, maybe early 80s heavy metal and progressive rock. So there's a considerable progressive element to this one. We're not talking Dream Theater prog metal, no, not like that. We're talking like maybe 80s metal inspired music with elements of the more progressive new wave of British heavy metal bands. There were a lot of bands back then that were inspired by Genesis and Yes and all that good stuff. But it's very good. It's very interesting. I quite enjoyed it. I'm glad I picked it up. I need to give it some more spins because I think it has more details to offer than what I just heard upon my first impressions. But good stuff. A little bit of power metal, a little bit of speed metal, a tiny bit of thrash metal, a lot of kind of 80s inspired heavy metal and hard rock and some progressive rock too. You can't go wrong with that mix. Now, World War V. Danish thrash metal. I think they are from Aarhus, the second largest city in Denmark. And this is interesting. This is a mix of kind of again old school thrash metal and modern thrash metal. And I quite like that. You have some Slayer-esque riffs, some really, really fast picking actually. That's very impressive. The vocals sound a bit like Rob Hughes, and you definitely have an Exodus influence on this too. But then you also have like some like two post 2000s sounding thrash metal. You have a lot of groove metal on here too, but the good part of groove metal, if you know what I mean. So it works very well, very aggressive vocals, very aggressive songs, but with a lot of details that are worth just, delving into and exploring. This is great thrash metal. I definitely need to see if they've put out more stuff. This is just one I bought on a whim a long time ago now in Mephisto. But yeah, World War V, quality thrash metal, a good mix of modern thrash and old school thrash metal. Great guitar work, ultra fast picking, nice modern production without sounding too clinical, and great vocals too if you like Rob Dukes. Great stuff. Now, this one here, To the Front Lines by Zul, or really Zul, because of umlauts. I don't know, just fun to say Zul. So, I would say this is new wave of traditional heavy metal straight up. The guitar even has that kind of slightly twangy tone. So straight up heavy metal, good stuff, very enjoyable songs. If you like all that kind of retro traditional heavy metal that's out these days, check this one out. And I do believe that Zul, they were among the pioneers of a new wave of traditional heavy metal. So great, great stuff. Some good songs on here. For example, I think it's Skull Spotter. That one is a pretty good song. So good stuff if you like heavy metal, which I do, obviously. Now, there's this one here. Not too much to show here because it came in a digipack, which I have stored safely somewhere else, as I always do. So this one mysteriously um, arrived at my doorstep in a package from the Bald Beauties of Blackpool. I had decided to buy the CD version of Cold Soul Embrace, and this one mysteriously was in there too. So thank you, Mark G with a C. So the Bald Beauties of Blackpool, Enchantment, Death Doom Band, check them out. They're great. So this is compilation, and there is actually a enchantment song on here, so there is a connection, and it's a demo version, so it's kind of rough around the edges, but we like that. But this is just a nice, I think it's called Music from the Desolate Land or something like that, a country, I don't remember, uh, volume 3 or something like that. But this is just a good mix of different styles of metal from, I believe, British artists. So you have some death metal, some black metal, even a little bit of core, like metalcore, some almost kind of stoner hard rock metal, doom metal as well. Uh, I think it's Serenity. I think they have a song on here, as far as I remember, which is really good. Um, and of course, the enchantment one. But yeah, so this is super interesting. Lots of different stuff. Some I like better than other stuff, of course. But yeah, a cool compilation. I like these underground compilations. And Oblast, just for the fun of it, I have heard this one before. The original soundtrack from The Karate Kid. Just good, fun 80s pop and pop rock. And a good reminder that it wasn't all AOR back in the 80s. A lot of people nowadays, I think, are under the impression that all 80s rock was AOR, but nope, there's a little bit of AOR-ish stuff on here, but this is just fun 80s pop, 80s rock, and a lot of it is very cheesy and it's good fun. It does have You're the Best, and it is the last track on here, and it is a good song, so it is there, don't worry. Good fun soundtrack from the 80s. And those of you who like Cobra Kai, that series, and you may not have watched The Karate Kid and all the stuff, Karate Kid 1 and 2, 3 is not that good. I haven't seen Karate Kid 4, but Karate Kid 1 and 2 are great. Karate Kid 3 is kind of so bad it's good, if you know what I mean. And check out the soundtrack as well. So there you go. Sneaky Haul and some first impressions. Thanks for watching.